Day 3 at the USCAA National Championships from Penn State Fayette at the Everly campus. Today we start on the women's side in the Division I bracket with the 5-seeded University of Maine Fort Kent as they take on the number 1-seeded Concordia, Alabama Hornets. Dan Wallace, Noah Becker here with you. You got two of us this time. I know you folks are used to one for each game, but today you get two for every matchup. And this one on the women's side. And Noah, I know you weren't here for the first matchup for both these teams, but Concordia, they rolled easily when they played the 8-seeded Apprentice School, winning that game by the final score of 90-53. And the University of Maine Fort Kent with only 7 women on their roster, a big win for them as well over Silver Lakes, 83-60, a 23-point win for the Bengals from Fort Kent as well. So we're set up for a great matchup here. Two high-scoring offenses on both sides and a couple of All-Americans for each team that are sure to light it up.
You know, first off, I want to apologize for my raspy voice. I know it sounds a little odd. I've been doing a lot of broadcasts in the last few days, and my voice box obviously apparently is not used to taking the stress and the torture and the punishment. But anyway, you're talking about the matchup. You're right. This is the first time I've seen either one of these teams play this weekend or this week. But overall, their regular season records combined are rather impressive. 8 regular season losses between the two teams combined, but more impressively, 40 wins regular season, 19 on the Maine Fort Kent side, and 21 for the Concordia Hornets. So 40 wins in a regular season. Here in the second game of the tournament for both, it should be a good matchup.
Well, a couple of players to watch out for on both sides. So we start with the 1-seeded Concordia, Alabama Hornets. First-team All-American Shantavia Harris. She had 18 points in their first matchup with the Apprentice School. And All-American honorable mention, Erica Owsley, 20 points as well. She really turned it on in the fourth quarter, picking up 10 points for the Hornets in the fourth quarter. And also chipping in double digits, Rachel Harris, number 3 for the Hornets. She had 14 points as well. And the Fort Maine Bengals doing, as I said, with only 7 women. Samantha Carapolucci had a huge afternoon when they played Silver Lake. 33 points for her, the senior right there out of Fort Kent, Maine. And Erica Saucier, 27 points for the first-team All-American as well. Somebody to really watch out for now when you're watching this Fort Kent team is Romana Lynn Asensio. She runs the point for them. She doesn't do a lot of scoring, but she may be one of the best ball handlers I've seen in women's college basketball at any level. We had the boys here watching for the next game to follow Fort Maine whenever they played Silver Lake, and some of the boys were astounded by the handles that she had, breaking ankles left and right, making some of the girls for Silver Lakes just look silly with the way she was able to put them on the floor. And she really is the catalyst for this Fort Kent team. The way not only she can handle the ball, she facilitates extremely well as well. Only 13 points, but she was racking up assists left and right. She had a double-double with more than 10 assists.
Her season averages are over 6 per game. That's rather impressive. And if you're saying that she had over 10, had a double-double with points and assists, now I'm really excited to see her. This should be an interesting matchup.
Now this Fort Kent team did not go very deep in their first game against Silver Lakes. Only the 7 girls, but the other 2 girls that were on the bench didn't even get into the ball game until the final minute of the game. They used those starting 5 for the entire game. So an interesting factor for this one could be how good are their legs? They had a day off, but they played the entire 40 minutes. Most of those girls did.
You'd like to see fatigue to not be a factor, but as you alluded to, playing that kind of time, even with a day off, that kind of minutes, that kind of stress on the body can be overwhelming sometimes.
Well, head coach Travis Delisle does not like to go deep into that little bench that he does have. So when you get the starting 5, you will probably see that starting 5 for the majority of the game for Fort Kent. So with that being said, we might as well get to the starting lineups for both sides. They're about to start them here at the Maine Arena at Penn State Fayette. A reminder for you real fast, the next matchup will be Iowa Wesleyan on the women's side as they will take on Rochester College. We start with the starting lineup for the University of Maine Fort Kent. At guard, a senior at 5'6" from Mendota, California. It's Danielle Carrillo. At center, a 6'2" senior from Warren, Maine, number 14, Erica Saucier. At guard, a 5'5" junior from Oakland, California, number 22, Romana Lynn Inocencio. At guard, a 5'4" senior from Presque Isle, Maine, number 24, Kayla Richards. And rounding out the starting five for head coach Travis Delisle, at forward, a 5'8" senior from Fort Kent, Maine, number 33, Samantha Carapellucci. On the other side, as we look at it, for the Concordia College Alabama Hornets, one of multiple schools here to have two teams, one on both the men's and the women's side. And the men's for Concordia College, they will be playing in the national title against Oakwood tomorrow. We start with number one, a 5'6" senior guard, Erica Osley. At guard, a 5'6" sophomore, number 3, Rachelle Harris. At guard, a 5'8" sophomore, number 22, Mary Wyndham. At forward, a 5'10" sophomore, number 24, Lashanique Youngblood. And at center, a 5'10" sophomore, number 34, Karshava Sutton. And the interesting thing to note as well, Noah, first team All-American nod for the Hornets, Shantavia Harris. She doesn't start for this Concordia College team, but she still picks up 17 points a game coming off the bench.
That's not a bad bench player. That's not a bad sixth person. Off the bench is a first team All-American. You know, another thing I wanted to point out, I noticed how loose Concordia is heading into their game. They're dancing, they're celebrating, they're high-fiving. They are extremely loose. I kind of like that laid-back attitude.
And we saw that in warm-ups. The girls were out there singing, they were chanting. They were going crazy, the Concordia Hornets. They like to have some fun. They did it the first game as well when they played the apprentice school. And apparently Coach Howard White, he likes it as well. He has no issue with his girls getting loose and into the game. It'll be Erica Saucier in the center dot for the Fort Kent Bengals. And she's going to jump against Mary Wyndham. The 5'8" Mary Wyndham into the center dot for Concordia against the 6'2" Saucier. And the ball tipped away, and Carapellucci is the one to recover it right to Inocencio. Down low, they go onto the block to Saucier, and Saucier on the board first for the Bengals. Fort Kent in their green uniforms. The Hornets of Concordia College in the all golds going from left to right. In the corner, it goes to Owsley, right back to Rachelle Harris. And now Karshava Sutton, she can't score, and the rebound pulled down by Carapellucci. And now you're going to get your first look, Noah, at Inocencio and how she handles the ball. It's extremely impressive. As she gets it at the top of the key, across she goes to Carrillo, a three-point threat for this Bengals team. Carapellucci skip pass across. As she finds Richards, she tries to go inside to Saucier, and it's taken away by Karshava Sutton. Rachelle Harris with it across on the left wing to Wyndham, down low on the block. Sutton will be double teamed, kick it back out to Wyndham. And now Owsley will launch the three off the glass, doesn't go, and the rebound pulled down with Carapellucci. Richards, her pass went a little haywire. She was looking for Carrillo. And a turnover for Fort Kent as they lead it 2-0, a minute and 20 seconds into the game.
A couple of early weird or odd decisions for passes here by both teams. I wonder if maybe they're a little more nervous than we thought heading into this.
Wyndham to Lashanique Youngblood. Back to Wyndham. She'll launch the triple. And Mary Wyndham gets the Hornets on the board. Inocencio with it. She steps right around Rachelle Harris to Carapellucci. She tries to cut baseline, has it knocked away, and Mary Wyndham comes away with it.
Inocencio on that first crossover looked very, very smooth.
Rachel Harris across to Owsley. She looks to cut inside with the right, and she's fouled. Cara Palucci is going to pick up her first, and that's one thing that this Hornet team can do. If they can get Fort Kent into some foul trouble and force Coach Travis DeLio to go to his bench, the Hornets are going to have a massive advantage. Owsley 20 points in the first game, led all scorers when they played the Apprentice School. She can't hit the first. One more for Owsley, and she knocks down the second. 4-2 for Concordia early on, and they pull on a little pressure. Full quarters. Richards finds Saucier, and now a foul going to be called on Lashanique Youngblood. I mean, number 1 on Youngblood in the first team foul. Inocencio. Off to Cara Palucci, trying to find Richards. Right back to Inocencio. She picks up her dribble in the corner, gets trapped, finds Saucier. She'll step in, and she traveled, no call. And the rebound pulled down by Karsheva Sutton. Owsley into the lane, off the glass, and Erica Owsley's got an early 3 points. Inocencio looking for Carrillo. And it looked to me like it went off Carrillo's leg, but they're going to say last touch by Karsheva Sutton.
Appears to me that Fort Kent needs to get their legs underneath of them here. They're down 6-2 in an early going, and they haven't really had much of a rhythm so far.
Saucier, the jumper from the elbow, can't get it to drop, and the rebound with Youngblood. Rachel Harris. She'll give it across to Owsley on the right wing. Sutton, she wanted it in the block, trying to back down Saucier, goes back out to Harris. Tries to find Youngblood in the paint. Ball on the floor, Danielle Carrillo comes away with it for the Bengals. Inocencio steps into the free throw line, takes the jumper, and Romana Lynn Inocencio's on the board. And we've got a timeout as it's called by Coach Howard White, and he's unhappy about something. But he's going to take a 30-second timeout with 6:37 left to go in the first quarter. It's 6-4. The Hornets on top of the Fort Kent Bengals. We were talking, Noah, a little bit before the game. A lot of All-Americans playing in this game, including Player of the Year Shantavia Harris. A huge list between the two teams when you look at the All-American side.
You know, I've had the privilege of calling a couple of games this week that have featured a handful of All-Americans on either side, but today with 5 of them, including Owsley with her honorable mention nod. Quite impressive lineup. You think of 10 players on the floor and 5 of them potentially are All-Americans at the same time. It's pretty impressive.
And 3 of the 5 starters for Fort Kent, either first team or second team All-Americans, with Cara Palucci, Saucier, and Romana Lynn Inocencio. Inocencio, Saucier are both first teamers. Cara Palucci is second teamer. And Shantavia Harris, a first team All-American and Player of the Year for Concordia, Alabama.
It's pretty impressive and pretty shocking that Shantavia Harris is a first-team All-American coming off the bench. Obviously, she relishes the role and is doing very well and coming off the bench, but still getting up her points and shots and kind of leading the team.
3 launched by Rachel Harris, and she knocks it down. 9-4 Concordia leads by 5 over Fort Kent. We're going to get our first look at Shantavia Harris as she's in the ball game now for Concordia. We get a steal from Owsley and a 3-on-2 if they go quickly. Right into Romana Lynn Inocencio, and she's going to get called for the block, and one more coming for Erica Owsley. A beautiful drive by Owsley. She draws the contact.
Can you go back to the house? It's somewhere around the coffee table or the couch I slept on. Somewhere around there, please. Thank you.
Owsley, she'll knock down the extra one. 2 or 3 from the line now, Erica Owsley. She's got 6 points early on. Carrillo to Inocencio. She's just going to launch the triple straight away. She get the roll, no, falls off, but Cara Palucci there for the putback, and Shantava Harris is going to take her first foul. I think one thing, Noah, that this Concordia team has seen as well, now with Shantavia Harris and Karsheva Sutton both in there, this is something that I didn't see a lot when they played the apprentice school. They were usually, it was either one or the other in there, is the fact that they can now take advantage of the size down low against Fort Kent as Cara Palucci knocks down the first of two. Sassier, the real only size threat for Fort Kent, so you get two girls down on a low block to work their way into the bucket. That's going to be a big advantage.
Might hurt the depth of Fort Kent.
And Cara Palucci gets the second one. She got them both.
Yeah, I was going to mention something to you earlier about that. Neither team in their starting lineups had a whole lot of height. I figured they were going to come out and run and gun, but now that I see that Concordia put their height inside, it might be an indication of what they want to do offensively.
And Shantavia Harris, she wants it. She's got position on Sassier. She doesn't get it. The 6'1" Shantavia Harris working on the 6'2" Erica Sassier. The shot put up by Owsley doesn't hit anything, and it goes out of bounds to Fort Kent. More pressure being put on by Mary Wyndham as Inocencio. She'll pick up a dribble right past half court. Off to Danielle Carrillo, who launches the three. No. A rebound pulled down with Mary Wyndham. Rachelle Harris. In the corner, it goes to Wyndham. Thought about the three. Now Harris will get it down on the lower block. And that's easy pickings for Shantavia Harris. 14-6. Concordia leads Fort Kent, and Inocencio has it knocked away by Owsley, and now she's going to commit her second foul. A bad mistake there. Romana Lynn Inocencio getting herself into early foul trouble. That's two before we hit the first media timeout.
I wasn't expecting early foul trouble on the guard play. I was expecting maybe more in some of the post players.
Rachelle Harris off to Owsley. Right back to Rachelle Harris. She'll get it in the right corner. She looks to cut into the paint. Stops, takes the jumper. Mid-range, no good, and the rebound with Kayla Richards. Off to Inocencio on the right side. Sassier, she'll take the jumper from the corner, and Erica Sassier hits. She's going to have to get her game going if Fort Kent wants to win this ball game. 27 for her in their first matchup with Silver Lake. Harris, she'll bring it over to the right wing. Goes inside to Shantavia Harris. Out to Mary Wyndham, who launches a triple. Off the back of the rim, and the rebound with Samantha Carapalucci. Inocencio, she wants to go quickly. All the way to the bucket. Hands it off to Carrillo. She'll take the jumper from the block. And Danielle Carrillo gets her first bucket of the ball game.
Very impressed with Inocencio on that drive. It looked like she had it in second or third gear and kicked it up another one just to get straight from midcourt to the hoop in what seemed to be about 2 steps.
Owsley, the kick out in the corner to Wyndham. She lost it for a second. Rachelle Harris finds it, and we've got more trouble for Fort Kent as Erica Sassier looks like she's in a lot of pain.
It appears she stepped on the foot.
And Fort Kent better hope that she's okay, as there goes all of your height inside if Sassier has to miss any time in this ball game.
It can be extremely painful when you step on a teammate or an opponent's foot and roll an ankle. I do it quite frequently when I play basketball with my friends. It's not a fun thing.
Looks like she's going to be all right and just be able to walk it off.
Tough kid.
Owsley, she'll take the inbound. As into the ball game now, Ashley Henley for the first time for the Hornets. Harris, she gets it on the low block, doesn't score, on the rebound with Lashanique Youngblood in the putback. 2 points for Youngblood, her first bucket. 16-10 as we approach the 3-minute mark in the first quarter. The Hornets on top. And just like that, Sassier, the turnaround jumper. Now that ankle didn't look to have any effects on that jumper. She's got 6 points.
Not at all. Turn around, face up, knock it down.
Youngblood on the right wing. Gives it inside, and Ashley Henley from the free throw line. The problem Fort Kent facing right now is the Hornets, they can't seem to miss. Saucier, she'll step out and take the triple. Rattles out. Carpalucci had the rebound, lost it, and Shanique Youngblood comes away with it. Henley, kick out to Owsley. Harris wants it on the block again, working on Saucier. No call as Saucier went to the floor. Second chance, no. Third, no. Yes, this time. Putting it home, as we don't have a 5 on our roster, but I know who that is.
Just wondering the same thing.
That's Talamakia DeBose, as they changed her number from 20 to 5 on us. Ball goes out of bounds. Last touch by Carrillo. No, Carrillo. It looked like it was last touch by Carrillo. We're going to say a Hornet got a piece of it. Inocencio, she'll inbound from the sideline. Finds Carpalucci, right back to Inocencio. Working on LaShanique Youngblood. Back out it comes to Richards. Carrillo on the right wing, and Richards again at the top. Carrillo, she'll spot up for 3. Back iron and out, and the rebound comes to Ashley Henley. Up ahead, looking for Youngblood, and out of bounds. So that change for you folks watching to note. Talamakia DeBose is wearing number 5, not number 20 this time around. She wore 20 in the first matchup with the Apprentice School. Saucier from the elbow, she's fouled. So Henley picks up her first foul. That's 3 against the Hornets in the first quarter. Inocencio tries to get it into Saucier. Youngblood knocks it away and out of bounds again.
I'm still waiting for Inocencio to really kind of find her groove and make a big stamp on this game.
And she tried to right there, but she never caught Youngblood. She tried to throw it right off Youngblood's back, but made no contact with it.
I haven't seen a nifty play like that in a while.
Now by rule, it has to hit somebody else when you're the inbounder. So they're going to say that Inocencio, because of that, didn't establish herself in bounds as she tried to pick up the ball again. Henley, left wing, inside. Shantavia Harris, she lost it. We saw Concordia put up a lot of points early on, and now both teams struggling. The turnover bug biting them both. Saucier from the elbow steps in a couple more feet, takes the jumper, doesn't get it. Carpalucci yet to get on the board, and she's going to be fouled.
It's going to be 14 fouls each here in the opening period.
And that's Youngblood's second. And check that as Carpalucci actually has 2. She knocked down 2 free throws. She's yet to hit from the field. And she'll still stay scoreless from the field as that shot comes up short. 33 for Carpalucci to match her number in the first matchup with Silver Lake. Saucier, offensive foul on Shantavia Harris. And now some trouble for the Hornets as Youngblood and Shantavia Harris both pick up 2 fouls here in the first quarter. Richards goes inside. Carpalucci trying to get going off the glass. No. And the rebound pulled down by DeBose. Nothing working on offense for the Bengals right now. Owsley, she'll come the other way. She tries to get into the lane herself, takes the floater, and Erica Owsley, a good first quarter with 8 points. Inocencio, spin move from the free throw line. She'll step back, take the jumper, comes up short. Carpalucci gets to the board, but that's going to do it for the first quarter. 22-12, a 10-point lead for the Concordia Hornets as we hit the first quarter break. We'll take a quick break. We need to take a little breather ourselves. 22-12 as we get ready to start quarter number 2. You're watching the USCAA National Championships presented by Nemacolin Woodlands Resort from Penn State Fayette, the Everly campus.
I didn't even. Yeah. That's the one problem from this vantage point is you can't really see around the bucket. Go for it. Yeah. Well, did you notice the recruiting that Fayette does? 3 kids from Hawaii, 2 from California, 1 from Minnesota. Yeah, I've known Mookie John for a long time, and that he loves it. He loves doing the recruiting side. All right, ready?
We're back at Penn State Fair at the Everly campus. Quarter number 2 about to get started. 22-12. The Hornets leading the Fort Kent Bengals as we start the second quarter. It's Henley, Youngblood, Owsley, DeBose, and Sutton out there for the Hornets. And Ashley Henley, she'll step into a jumper and knock it down. Same 5 out there for Fort Kent. No subs yet for Coach Travis DeLisle. Don't expect to see any unless somebody gets in real-time, big-time foul trouble. Carrillo goes down low, and now Cara Palucci's going to get on the board. A first field goal for her. She's got 4 points.
Great move down low, kind of baseline drop step.
Inside it goes to DeBose off the glass. She doesn't get it. Second chance with Sutton, no. And Cara Palucci now finds the board. Inocencio, kick out to Carrillo. She'll launch the triple. Comes up short. And Erica Owsley now wants to run. All the way to the bucket off the glass. Double digits now for Erica Owsley, a quick 10 points.
Dan, I'm really waiting for Fort Kent here to pick it up. They've got too much firepower to be down by 12 this early in the ball game.
Inocencio takes the long jumper. Can't hit DeBose. She'll save the rebound. And now Owsley looking to go quickly again. All the way to the bucket, lost it. I was going to say it was tipped. I'm going to say it hit Danielle Carrillo and went out of bounds. As now we're going to take a media timeout at the 8:37 mark. 26-14, Concordia leads the Fort Kent Bengals. And you were talking to me a little bit during the quarter break about how you were a recruiting nut, and you love seeing the Cara Palucci stayed right there in her hometown.
You know, I covered a couple of the Maine teams that are also here on the women's side in the different divisions 1 and 2. I think it's kind of cool that she decided to stay right there in town. I don't know all the reasons, but just being a recruiting nut, I kind of find it interesting that with the success and all the other women's teams from the University of Maine different campuses, that she stayed right there in her hometown and decided to play her college ball there. Another thing I wanted to kind of touch base on, I just mentioned a minute ago the firepower of Fort Kent. Aside from the 3 All-Americans, if you look at their major stat leaders, it's a different person's name in every category, from points and rebounds and three-pointers and assists. So they have a whole lot of talent, a whole lot of depth spread amongst the entire team, it seems like, especially their starting 5. I'm just kind of waiting for them to narrow this gap and have put their stamp on the game, because 14 points, 11 and a half minutes into the game is not what I was expecting when we were talking pregame.
Well, they got into the act early when they played Silver Lakes. 24 points in the first quarter is what they put up against Silver Lakes. A lot of that coming from Cara Palucci and Saucier, and they really have not been able to get going yet today. Henley out around midcourt, gives it off to Mary Wyndham on the right wing. Right back in the corner, Henley will take it. And Wyndham again. And now into the game for the first time, Michaela Nash. 3 launch from the corner. Erica Saucier, not Saucier, make that Owsley. Erica Owsley, a huge afternoon already, 13 points for her. Carrillo trying to get in another 3-point act, and hers off the back of the rim and out. 15-point lead for the Hornets. They won their first matchup by a huge margin almost 40 points. They won it by 37, 90-53. Henley, she'll launch the triple. Her shot doesn't drop, and the rebound comes away with Richards. Carrillo in the corner to Saucier at the left elbow. She steps into the lane, might have traveled again, no call. Tipped around, Henley, and we've got a foul on Saucier. First foul against Saucier today, as the fouls get reset at the quarter change. So it only takes 5 fouls to get into a double bonus this year. That's a new thing in women's college basketball.
It took a while, I think, for a lot of people at the collegiate level to get used to the number 1-and-1, the 10-4 quarters. The 4-10-minute quarters instead of the 2 halves.
I'm still not used to the 4-10s. It's weird to switch between doing it here between men's and women's. You get one game you're doing 4-10s, the next game you're doing 2 20s.
I'm with you.
Shot launched by Nash. We've got a foul against Karsheva Sutton.
I work in an athletic department at a university, and it's we had 40 some odd home games between our men's and women's teams at the NCAA level, and I never really did get used to the differences between the 2 games. Even when you'd go back to back, you'd think you'd get used to it and get into a rhythm. Nah, not so much.
6:48 left to go in the second quarter. Carrillo tries to go inside to Saucier, and right there to take it away, Mary Wyndham. Quick hands. Nothing working offensively for Fort Kent, as the Hornets' defense has them stifled. Owsley, she'll launch another 3, and her big day continues. 16 of the first 32 points. She's got half of Concordia's offense, and she's got 2 more points than the whole Fort Kent team. Romano Inocencio, she'll go all the way to the bucket. Inocencio, she's got 4 points. As Concordia, they've doubled up Fort Kent, 32-16. Karsheva Sutton. Right back out to Wyndham. Henley goes right back to Sutton. She lost in the paint, gets it right back. Kick out, Owsley. She wants another triple. She's feeling it. Comes up short, a little bit of a heat check for Erica Owsley.
Owsley has a very, very smooth, fluid stroke.
Inocencio to Carrillo in the corner. Her shot comes up short again. The leader in 3-pointers for Fort Kent, Danielle Carrillo, and she hasn't been able to get on the board yet today from the 3-point line. Richards to Saucier. To Inocencio. She'll step into the lane. Back out to Cara Palucci. Will take the jumper from the corner long, and the rebound with Nash. Up ahead quickly, looking for Owsley. Tips it and keeps it, and she's got 18 points. She had 20 the entire game against the Apprentice School, and Coach Travis Delisle's seen enough. He needs a timeout. 34-16. The Concordia College, Alabama Hornets have come up with a lot of firepower here against Fort Kent. Their offense can't get going. And Erica Owsley doing a lot of it, 18 points early on. And what do you do, Travis Delisle, you call timeout here. What do you got to do now if you're trying to get something going offensively? Nothing's been working. What do you got to look for? At least the one thing that's kind of worked is trying to get the ball inside to Saucier.
I was just thinking that. Either push it up tempo, maybe try and catch him off guard. Don't settle into half court as much, or get it into Saucier. You got to change your game plan at some point, because you got to kind of get out of the rut you think you might be in. But again, 16 points, 15 minutes into dead on, 15 minutes into action is not where Fort Kent wants to be right now.
So Coach Travis Delisle sticks with that same 5. Inocencio, Richards, Carrillo, Saucier, and Cara Palucci. Carrillo gives it out to Cara Palucci, top of the key. Wanted to go inside to Saucier. Carrillo trying to get going, and there it is. Danielle Carrillo, her first triple. She had 69 of them in the regular season. Wyndham on the left wing. As DeBose is back in there, Telemakia DeBose. Jumper taken from Henley from the corner. The fadeaway doesn't go. And Inocencio will run out with it for Fort Kent. Carpolucci, Richards, they want to get it to Carrillo again. She tried to go inside to Sassier, no position, skip pass for Inocencio. She'll launch the triple, and there it goes. 7 points for Inocencio. They've cut that lead down to 12, 34 to 22. Owsley, she'll step back. Can't get it to go. Sassier with the rebound, she took a shot, and the foul looks like it's going to go against Talamaki DeBose. No, they're going to call it on Henley instead. So that's 2 on Henley. She's got 2. Shantavia Harris has 2. And Lashanique Youngblood also with 2. Inocencio off to Carrillo. Sassi on the block. She'll take the jumper up and under move, and she banks it home. Now that offense has started to get going. They've got 8 unanswered. Down to 10. 3:25 left to go in the first half. Rachel Harris with it, trying to work on Inocencio. Off to Owsley. In the corner, it's Mary Wyndham. Right back up top, Michaelia Nash. She'll launch the 3. No, but Rachel Harris finds the long rebound. And a fresh 30 for the Lady Hornets. Harris to Wyndham. She'll step into the elbow, take the jumper. It doesn't drop. That basket's got a lid on it now. And now they can cut this lead to single digits. The Bengals looking to strike again. Inocencio, she'll step into a triple. It's going to be long. Rebound tipped around. Carrillo finds it. She puts it right back up, and she gets it to drop. And now we've got a timeout on the other side as Coach Howard White Jr. unhappy with what he's seeing from his Hornets. 2:39 left to go in the first half. It's 34-26. Concordia is still on top, and now we just talked about what Fort Kent had to do. Now it's Howard White calling timeout. He's got to find a way to get his ladies to get a bucket. That rim just has a lid on it on the opposite side of the Hornets right now.
Before this current scoring outburst for Fort Kent, Concordia was shooting over 53% from the field. They were 14 of 26, nearly 54%. And they were 4 of 10 from three-point range. On the flip side, for Fort Kent, they were shooting just 30% from the floor and 0 for 8 from three-point range. So they've kind of turned it on here, and as you mentioned, Concordia, the basket is closed. It's not open at the current moment, and then I think they just, you go back to Erica Owsley or just continue to push the ball down low. Stick with what got you here.
So this lead's been cut to 8. 34-26 is now the score. And the Hornets looking to make it double digits again on this possession. Under 2.5 to go in the first half. Owsley, she'll cut into the lane. Kick back out to Nash. Make that Youngblood. Now with Harris. Rachel Harris. She'll cut into the lane. She's fouled by Richards. Make that Danielle Carrillo on the foul. So that's number 1 on Carrillo. Only 2 team fouls on the Bengals in the second quarter. And Rachel Harris, she's going to get 2 from the line. First one, she can't get it to go. 2 for 2, Rachel Harris was in the first matchup with the Apprentice School. She's got 1 more coming her way. As the second one rolls out as well. 0 for 2 she goes. She had a solid day, 14 points against the Apprentice School, and she's yet to get things going. Only a triple to her ledger today. And 10-second violation. The pressure put on by the Hornets. Another turnover for Fort Kent.
Looked like that full court pressure kind of surprised Inocencio. Really, by the time she got the ball, it was not really panic mode, but I think it was kind of an eye-opener. They weren't ready. They hadn't seen that yet.
Harris will give it off to Lashanique Youngblood. Sutton, she'll take it and drive to the free throw line. Rejected. Erica Sassier there to get a hand on it. Now 2-on-1. Vinci Inocencio goes quickly. Beautiful ball movement from the Bengals, and Cara Palucci finishes it.
Inocencio doesn't get credit for an assist there, obviously, because
We'll give her a hockey
all the
assist.
bodies, but yeah, half an assist. Very pretty around the back pass.
An unselfish play by Kayla Richards to find Cara Palucci. 6 points now for Cara Palucci, and now looking to make it 7 from the line. 2 of 2 today, make her 3 of 3. And just like that, that lead we saw at one point at 18 dwindled all the way down to 5.
They're quickly eating away at their deficit.
Owsley, she'll step into the lane. She's the only offense right now for the Hornets and make it 20 even for Erica Owsley in the first half. Somebody had to make a move for the Hornets, and Erica Owsley, she took that burden right on her shoulders. Richards to Sassier. Thought about the three, passed it up, steps into the elbow and takes the jumper. Too strong, long rebound. It finds Karsheva Sutton. We approach the 1 minute mark. Just about 5 seconds over the 1 minute mark left in the first half. Owsley into the lane. Doesn't get it to go. We've got a tie up. Ball's going to go down to Fort Kent. And now with 1 minute left, the Bengals, they want to try to chip into this lead a little more. Only down by 7, now very manageable. As Cara Palucci gets it back in Asensio, full court pressure again put on by the Hornets. Skip pass, Cara Palucci to Richards, Carrillo in the corner, gets it inside Sassier. She's got position on Sutton, can't score. Second chance, and this time she's fouled. And Karsheva Sutton, that's going to be her second. So there's 4 Lady Hornets with 2 fouls as we approach halftime. 49 and a half seconds left to go. Sassier, her first trip to the free throw line today. And the first one bounces out.
We were talking before the webcast started about the possible small numbers for Fort Kent. I was worried maybe they get into some foul trouble with the size of the Hornets. It turned out to be the exact opposite so far.
Sassier, the senior from Warren, Maine. And she can't hit the second one either. She goes 0 for 2. Owsley coming quickly the other way, all the way to the rack. And Erica Owsley, DeBose, she'll put it back up, doesn't go. And the Youngblood finds it again, but that'll do it for the first half. 38-29. Fort Kent, they did face an 18-point deficit. They'd at least cut that in half heading into halftime. So Coach Travis Delisle, Noah, you got to think he's got to be happy at least with that effort.
Oh, sure. Like you mentioned, 22 of 38 points is coming from one player. So the other 4 or 5 that might usually be a scoring threat just aren't this game, and Owsley's the only one. So Fort Kent's effort there, along with maybe some of the quasi-cold shooting from Concordia, I think that might be part of the message coming from the Fort Kent coaching staff here at the break.
We'll take a listen to some of these point numbers. Erica Owsley on the Hornets side, 22 points. The rest of her team, it's DeBose with 2, Wyndham with 3, Youngblood with 2, Harris with 2, and Ashley Henley with 4. So a lot of that load being put on the shoulders of Erica Owsley, who had a massive first half. On the other side, for the Fort Kent Tigers, make the Bengals, Erica Sassier led the way with 8, but it's been very balanced scoring. 8 for her, 7 for Carrillo, 7 for Inocencio, and 7 for Cara Palucci as well. That'll do it for the first half. It's 38-29 at the midway break. The Hornets of Concordia on top of the Fort Kent Bengals. We'll take a break. We'll be right back with the second half. You're watching the USCA National Championships presented by Nemacolin Woodlands Resort from Penn State Fayette, the Everly campus.
all the students that I had at Wheeling Jesuit that year before I went to Frostburg, their argument to me was, I'm just going to have better opportunities because I went to a small private liberal arts school. I'm like, not necessarily.
It all depends.
Work for something.
Yeah, it all depends. All right. Yeah, I'm afraid every day this table is going to crash out. All right, you ready to go?
Yes, sir. Here's stat sheet. You want to read them off? You want me to do it?
Go for it. You can go.
We're back at Penn State Fayette, the Eberly campus. USCAA National Championships. We're getting ready for the second half between the University of Maine, Fort Kent, and Concordia College of Alabama. The Hornets with a 9-point lead, 38-29. And Fort Kent not really able to get much going offensively in the first half, but they do have some decent numbers still. One we were trying to watch was Inocencio for her assist total in double figures the other day, but not quite able to get going in the first half.
A lot of balanced scoring for Maine Fort Kent. You alluded to at the beginning of halftime. Danielle Carrillo 7 points, Saucier with 8, Inocencio with 7, and Cara Palucci, with 7 to round out Fort Kent's 29. But the big story and kind of the highlight of the first half for Concordia is Erica Owsley's 22 points of 9 of 14 shooting, including 2 3-pointers. Everybody else behind her has either a solo basket, aside from Ashley Henley, who is 2 of 4 with 4 points.
So Fort Kent, they've got to find a way to get the offense going. They were down by 18 at one point in the first half, chipped it all the way down to 9 to start quarter number 3. Fort Kent, they'll be out there with their same 5. Inocencio, Richards, Carrillo, Saucier, and Cara Palucci. For Concordia, it's going to be Rachel Harris, Wyndham, Owsley, Shantavia Harris, and Lashanique Youngblood. And immediately go down low to Youngblood, and she lays it off the glass and in. Make it 4 on the afternoon for Youngblood. Inocencio off to Carrillo on the left side. Fort Kent now going from left to right in their all-green unis. Concordia right to left in the all-gold. Carrillo in the corner. She gives it off to Saucier into Cara Palucci in the paint off the glass. No, and Shantavia Harris there for the rebound. Owsley, she wants to go all the way to the rack herself again. No, and Saucier there to clean up the boards. Inocencio to Carrillo, left side, Cara Palucci. Right back out top, it comes Inocencio. She'll step into a 3-ball. Back of the rim and out. And now Rachel Harris wants to run for Concordia. Spin move in the lane. Right past Inocencio. Very pretty move. 5 for Rachel Harris on the afternoon. Inocencio out to Carrillo, left corner. And Inocencio again. Thought about another triple. Passes it up. Gives it back Carrillo. Leader in 3-pointers for this Bengals team. Can't hit, and we've got a foul on the rebound. And it looks like it's going to go against Mary Wyndham. That's the first foul on Wyndham. There's a bit of confusion who the foul's on. It is going to be on Wyndham. That's number 2 on Wyndham, make it. I thought that was only her first, but they're going to say that's her second foul. Saucier into the lane, spin move. Jumper comes up short. Cara Palucci saves it off of Youngblood, but Shantavia Harris to pick it up. Rachel Harris with it now. She'll give it to Mary Wyndham. Right back to Rachel Harris in the corner. And Mary Wyndham again. Harris. Back to Wyndham. She'll step into the lane. Off the glass. Doesn't go. Rebound pulled down by Kayla Richards. She's trapped. Gets it off to Saucier. And she finds Inocencio.
That's whose hands you want the ball in at this point in my line. Inocencio.
Saucier just past the free throw line. Doesn't knock it down. And now Erica Owsley wants to slow things down for the Hornets.
again, only the first time I'm watching these two teams play in the tournament, but Incensio just seems to have that other gear. When Concordia wants to press and wants to double the ball, Incensio just seems to have the knack to find a way to get out of it.
Harris, her jumper doesn't go from the corner, and Danielle Carrillo pulls down the board and gives it off to Kayla Richards. This is the semifinal between the 1 and 5 seed, the winner of the USCAA National Championship game. It'll be the first national title game to be played on Saturday afternoon. The winner of this will play the winner of the next matchup between Iowa Wesleyan and Rochester College, as Richards goes to the bucket with the left hand and can't finish.
That'll be my turn, I think, to kind of have one up on you. You have one up on me on this game because I haven't seen these two teams. I was fortunate enough to cover both Rochester and Iowa Wesleyan's first round game.
And I haven't seen either of those two play. Rachel Harris. In the corner, it goes to Youngblood. She's got Cara Palucci in her face, gives it off to Harris. She wants to step into the lane. Her jumper doesn't go, and Cara Palucci there for the rebound. Up ahead, Carrillo all the way to the bucket. Great job, Danielle Carrillo running the floor. That's the first bucket of the second half. For Fort Kent, it's 42-31. Rachel Harris slowing it down again for the Hornets. Mary Wyndham in the corner to Youngblood. She'll give it inside. Shantavia Harris kick right back out. Mary Wyndham for the triple. Beautiful looking stroke from Mary Wyndham. That's her second three ball of the day. She's got 6 points.
Got to put a hand in her face. Don't let her have a free shot like that.
5.5 left to go in the third quarter. Inocencio pulls it back out, gives it to Carrillo. In the corner goes Erica Saucier. She'll step into the lane. Her floater doesn't go, but she finds her own rebound. Right back up, and this time Saucier scores.
She has quite the mix of offensive talent. She can rebound, score, has good footwork, looks like, and always seems to have good position on her rebounding.
That gives her double digits in points with 10. On the right side, Wyndham wants to go inside to Shantavia Harris, and she has it knocked away, and coming away with it, Kayla Richards. 3-on-1, and Fort Kent goes quickly behind a back pass. Inocencio and the foul on Carrillo. Erica Owsley called for her first foul. That's going to take us to a media break, but what a beautiful look from Romana Lynn Inocencio. She won't get the assist, but Danielle Carrillo, she's going to get 2 of them from the free throw line, and she's going to try to make 2 points out of it after that. But still nothing really going offensively for Fort Kent. They started the half down 9. They're now trailing by 12. The only thing that's really worked for them is Saucier inside, and she's had to make a lot of her own plays.
They opened the game in a kind of a small lull, and they seem to have opened the third quarter in a small lull again. It'd be interesting to see if they didn't bury themselves right off the bat, and they came out and matched Concordia's kind of intensity rather than having to catch up to it. But you're right, Saucier seems to be the one bright spot here early, in just over 5 minutes here into the third quarter. She can really generate on her own, create her own scoring. Maybe if I'm Fort Kent, we keep going back to Saucier on the offensive glass, or on the offensive end, I should say, see what she can do for us. Get a couple of stops on defense, dump it into Saucier in the post, see what she can do.
Same 5 coming back out of the timeout for Fort Kent, as it's been the same 5 for this entire game. Carrillo, no free throw attempts yet today. She's got 9 points. And the first one, it rolls out for her. Carrillo, a senior from Mendota, California. Coming all the way to the opposite side of the country to play basketball with Fort Kent, Maine. She hits the second of 2, so that puts her in double digits now with 10 points even. Back into the game, Ashley Henley takes it on the right side. She looks to get into the lane, spin move in the paint, over top of Saucier, no. Cara Palucci fighting for the rebound, she gets fouled. The foul, it's going to go against Telemakia DeBose.
I'll tell you what Fort Kent lacks in size. They sure match with speed and intensity.
They get a 2-3 zone for Alabama. Concordia, Alabama, as Carrillo's jumper from the corner doesn't go. Owsley, she'll bring it the other way. Kick back out. Ashley Henley. Inside it goes to Shantavia Harris. Owsley, she went to look at a three. Almost stepped on the sideline, but she knocks it down anyway. 25 points for the Hornets senior. Richards with it on the right wing. She'll step into the paint. Wanted to get it down low to Carrillo, but too many arms to get that one through. And now Owsley running ahead of the pack will lay it home.
Back-to-back baskets for Owsley after she was kind of quiet the first few minutes. Hit a 3-2, 5 quick points.
And if she continues, she's going to have an easy 30 points today. She's already got 27. Saucier in the corner. Looking to back down Wyndham. Kick out to Inocencio for three. And Romana Lane, Inocencio hits the triple. Another Bengal in double digits as that gives Inocencio 10 points. Wyndham on the right side. Off to Ashley Henley. Wyndham again wants to go inside. This time to DeBose. From the right block, looks to back down Carpalucci. Her shot rejected. We're going to get a foul. That looked pretty clean to me.
I did. I was waiting to see if you would take that first jab that it sounded up here, all the way up here, to be all ball, but you never really get a change of mind or change of call from the officials.
So Carpalucci hit with her second foul. And DeBose from the free throw line misses the first. Two points for DeBose today. Saw limited playing time in the first matchup with the apprentice score. She knocks down the second one. She had 5 points against the Lady Builders. Carrillo, skip pass, over to Richards. Inocencio, into the free throw line, Carpalucci, beautiful cut to find Saucier.
Great look inside.
She's now got 12 points, but it's still a 12-point lead for the Lady Hornets. Owsley, she has it on the left side. Off to Wyndham. And Ashley Henley inside looking for DeBose. She lost it out of bounds. The one thing that the Hornets really have not done is get Division I's Women's Player of the Year, Shantavia Harris, involved with only 2 points.
That boggles my mind, Player of the Year, and they're doing just fine without her.
Carrillo misses the triple from the left side, but Richards there for the rebound. Saucier, she's going to go up with it off the glass. No. Well, what Harris is not doing on the scoring side, she's making up for it on the boards. Henley. She'll take the jumper from the free throw line. Too strong, but DeBose cleaning up the glass. Can't finish. Saucier pulls down the rebound for the Bengals. Inocencio to Carpalucci all the way to the glass.
And just like that, it's back to 10 again. It was 9 at halftime. It balloons. Seems to be kind of teetering back and forth a little bit here.
Owsley, another triple, no. Rebound with Carpalucci. Up ahead, Saucier. She goes to the glass. A smart move by Saucier to stop her momentum there as Ashley Henley was ready to take that charge. But Saucier stops, puts it off the glass, and scores 2 more, and we got a timeout by Coach Howard White. I think they're going to turn it. No, it's just going to be a 30-second timeout. So Coach Howard White doesn't like what he saw. The lead had gotten back up to 14 here in the second half, but now it's back down to 8 once again, 51-43.
Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you up, but I got some updated statistics here for us. So far in the second half, or I should say, through nearly 3 quarters of play, Concordia's shooting percentage has come down significantly, down to 42.9% on 21 of 49 shooting. Meanwhile, Maine Fort Kent is 18 of 48 from the floor for 37.5%. While Fort Kent didn't have a three-pointer in the first half, they are 3 of 15 now for the game, while Concordia is 6 of 14. And Maine Fort Kent, surprisingly, with only really one big presence in the post, is out-rebounding Concordia 31-29.
Well, not very big, but they got a lot of scrappy girls on that Fort Kent side. Nobody afraid to get in there and fight for the rebounds. We're saying Danielle Carrillo, one of the smaller players on the floor for Fort Kent. Carrillo only standing 5'6", down there at times, getting rebounds over the 6' and 6'1" players of the Concordia Hornets. Coming out of timeout, 57 seconds left in the third quarter. It's 51-43 in favor of Concordia. Owsley gives it off to Wyndham. Now Henley. Now they go inside to Shantavia Harris, trying to go over top of Saucier. Can't score. Youngblood gets the rebound, kicks out to Wyndham. Had a look at a triple, passes it up, gives it off to Henley. She'll cut into the lane. She takes the jumper from the paint, and she gets it to rattle home. Double digits that lead goes back up to, as Inocencio tracked down from behind by Owsley will hold on to it. About a second difference between the shot clock and the game clock. 19 seconds left on the game clock. Saucier takes the jumper, can't get it to go, and Henley comes away with the board. And now Concordia, they can hold for the final shot. Henley to Wyndham. 6 seconds left in the third quarter. Owsley, you know she wants to take the jumper. She steps into the paint, off the glass, no. And that's how we end the third quarter. 53-43. The Hornets, they take a 10-point advantage into the final frame. We got 10 more minutes to play. A bid for a national championship matchup on the line between Fort Kent and Concordia, Alabama. You're watching the USCAA National Championships presented by Nemacolin Woodlands Resort from Penn State Fayette, the Eberly campus.
Nope. Not today. Last night they started going 5 minutes to try to pick things up. I was stuck at WMBS last night while the later games were going on. I had to listen to the band women, but that was
One more quarter to go between Concordia and the University of Maine Fort Kent. A national championship game bid on the line. The winner of this one plays the winner of Rochester College and Iowa Wesleyan. That matchup coming up next. 53-43 in favor of the Hornets. Carrillo takes it on the left wing, gives it off to Carapellucci. Inocencio, quick trigger on the three. Her shot doesn't go. Carapellucci fights with Wyndham for the rebound, and Mary Wyndham's the one that comes away with it.
Fort Kent was down 9 at halftime, 10 at the third quarter. I'm expecting them to, it seems to be trouble with the shot clock. Fort Kent's going to have to turn it up a notch and kick it into another gear if they want to narrow this and make it a game over the final 10 minutes here, because they're down 10.
Henley working on Richards, gives it off to Owsley. She'll give it across. Henley at the free throw line takes a jumper. Ashley Henley. She's got a smooth stroke. 2 in each quarter. She's now got 8 points. Inocencio gets Owsley to back off. She'll step into the paint, gives it off Carapellucci. Beautiful catch, and she's fouled from behind by Wyndham. That's going to be 3 of them on Mary Wyndham. And stepping to the free throw line for the 3rd time today is Samantha Carapellucci. First to 2, off the back of the iron now. That's first free throw she's missed today, make her 3 of 4. One more coming, Carapellucci's way, and she rolls the second one out as well. Nothing doing for Carapellucci at the free throw line. That's when you need to make up your points. If you're Fort Kent, you got to do it with the clock stopped. Harris has it knocked away. Carrillo comes away with it. And the Bengals looking to go now the other direction. She's trapped. Wyndham and Youngblood there. And a timeout called by Coach Travis DeLisle. We'll see if this is a full or a 30, and they're just going to turn it into a media. 8:41 left to go in the 4th quarter. 55-43 in favor of the Concordia Hornets. You're watching the USCA National Championships presented by Nemacolin Woodlands Resort from Penn State Fayette at the Eberly campus.
Wait, do what now? No, that's what I was planning on. Okay. Yeah,
Well, I'm kind of more like oh, I sound awful. After last night, I was like, I'm on the final game. My throat, like,
Yeah.
oh, it was bad.
All right, here we go.
8:41 left to go in the 4th between Fort Kent and Concordia from Alabama. The Bengals coming out of Fort Kent, Maine. The Concordia Hornets from Selma, Alabama. Richards off to Carrillo on the left side. Make the right side. Right back to Richards. She gives it off to Romana Lynn Inocencio. Richards, top of the key, right back to Inocencio. She'll step to the top of the key. Looks to drive inside, has it stripped for a second, gets it back. Carapellucci will put it up. No. And the rebound was Shantavia Harris. The Bengals some ground to make up, still down 12. Owsley on the right side. Harris, she'll take it on the low block. And Shantavia Harris, her first bucket since the first quarter. That's 4 points for the Women's Division I Player of the Year.
Leads back to 14, and as feisty and as scrappy as Fort Kent is, they're going to have to turn this energy into positive points.
Carapellucci has her shot blocked by Shantavia Harris. And now Ashley Henley, she'll slow things down for the Lady Hornets. Off to Owsley, right wing. She'll step into a triple, rolls off the front of the rim, and Danielle Carrillo there for another rebound. Richards, bounce pass to Carapellucci, right back out to Richards. Saucier from the right elbow. She can't hit. And we've got a foul coming against Carapellucci as she trips up Ashley Henley. That looked like they just got their feet tangled up, but Ashley Henley in a little bit of pain. And that's now 3 fouls going against Samantha Carapellucci.
It's a good thing to see. That's 2 players, one for each team, kind of go down with what looked to be a lower leg injury of an ankle or some sort, and they're walking it off. No real long-term effects, no long-term seats at the bench for either player, I should say.
Henley, right side. Looks for a bounce pass. She was looking to find LaShanique Youngblood, but it's kicked away off the foot of Samantha Carapellucci. So the Hornets will keep it. They'll inbound from the baseline. Henley, she'll be the trigger. She finds Youngblood, right back to Henley. Youngblood at the free throw line. Off to Mary Wyndham on the left wing. Inside it goes. Shantavia Harris, she'll step back, take the jumper, comes up short. And Kayla Richards, the smallest player on the floor, finds the rebound. Richards, down low to Carrillo. She's fouled by Harris, and one more.
The art of the bounce pass, my friend.
That was a beautiful look from Kayla Richards. And for Shantavia Harris, that's foul number 3. Carrillo, she's got 12 points. She's going to look to make it 13 from the stripe. That one's back of the rim and out, and Wyndham, she skies for the rebound. Still down 12, the Bengals 57-45, they trail. The Hornets from Concordia. Wyndham has it go off her foot. Back across, Ashley Henley. She'll take the jumper from the right side, and Ashley Henley hits again. She's got a beautiful jumper, does Ashley Henley, and that's 10 points for her. Carrillo, she wants a look at a 3. Danielle Carrillo again. 15 points for the Bengals senior.
11 points, 11-point deficit, nearing 6 minutes to go. I think Fort Kent's got to get something together here.
They got to lock things down on defense. You need empty possessions from the Hornets if you're Fort Kent. Shantavia Harris, she'll take it in the block over top of Sassier. The hook shot goes. It's 6 points now for Harris. 4 of them coming here in the fourth. Inocencio to Carrillo. Cara Palucci takes it at the elbow. Her pass knocked away by Wyndham. Great defense. Youngblood will take it away. And Ashley Henley will bring it up the floor. Henley, free throw line to Youngblood. To Mary Wyndham. Right side, she'll take the jumper, no. But she gets her own rebound, second chance, no. Third chance coming from Harris, and she puts it home. That's what you can't have if you're Fort Kent. Multiple opportunities for the Hornets. Working the offensive glass, Shantavia Harris has 8.
Those offensive rebounds will kill you. You need to take care of business on the first chance you get on the rebound.
Carrillo, another 3. That one off the front of the rim. The deficit starting to look insurmountable as it's 15 points as we're under 5 to play. Henley, she'll hand it off. Erica Owsley, scoreless so far in the fourth. She's got 27 on the day. Looks to go past Inocencio. She takes the jumper. Rolls out, but Harris there for another offensive rebound and a putback. And just like that, Shantavia Harris, who's been quiet, she's in double figures with 10.
Really kind of imposing her will down low at this point.
And now Travis Delisle, he needs to stop things up. Down by 17, it's 65-48. Concordia Hornets lead the Fort Kent Bengals. 4:17 left to go. You're watching the USCA National Championships presented by Nemacolin Woodlands Resort from Penn State Bay at the Everly campus.
I forget what it was. I help my neighbor's an auctioneer, and I help her with auctions every now and again when I get a chance. And we did an auction when Mr. Everly died a couple years ago, and the amount of stuff. There was a brooch that sold for like $10,000. It was ridiculous. There was so much stuff that we had to hold it at the fairgrounds. Oh wow. Halftime of the third game, I said, well, I've gone 30 minutes about, I've gone three quarters of game in game time for the Mountaineers, and I said, and I just now get your opportunity over and over again.
Fort Kent with some massive ground to make up. 4:16 left to go, down 17 points. Carrillo takes it on the right wing, gets it inside. Sassier looking for a skip pass to Inocencio and a steal by Erica Owsley. And it almost looks at this point like Concordia has just taken the will out of the Fort Kent Bengals. Owsley out around midcourt, working against Inocencio.
I'd expect Concordia to really eat up a lot of the shot clock here and just take as much time as they can on every possession. Obviously, there's no sense in trying to put up a lot of points at this point. Just ride the lead that you already have.
Owsley from the free throw line. Her jumper doesn't go. Knocks it away from Kayla Richards. We saw a little bit of athleticism there by Inocencio doing a split on the floor. She got tripped up there by Erica Owsley, got right back up. I don't think I could do that. I can't do that split down the floor and get right back up after that.
It wouldn't be pretty if I even tried.
Carrillo looking for Saucier, kicked away by Youngblood. And Inocencio, she'll inbound it from the sideline. She wants it right back from Richards. She'll keep it. Give it off to Cara Palucci. Right back across. It's Kayla Richards. Bounce pass. Beautiful find again. We're talking about Romana Lynn's passes. How about Kayla Richards with a beautiful bounce? Finding Samantha Cara Palucci.
I might be one of the few people on earth that really like the San Antonio Spurs. I just like the way they play fundamental basketball.
3 from the left side. Ashley Henley doesn't hit. Youngblood, she'll get the rebound though, and another second chance and a fresh 30 to work off the clock for the Hornets. Owsley doesn't waste much time, goes down to Youngblood. She can't score, and Inocencio comes away with the rebound. Up ahead, Cara Palucci, clear lane to the bucket, lays it home.
Late spark here coming from Fort Kent, down to 13.
And that's 13 points for Cara Palucci. But Owsley in absolutely no hurry, just going to break the timeline. Gives it off, Youngblood in the corner. If the Hornets are smart about it, they're going to work as much time off every shot clock as they can. Henley, kick out. Wyndham, she'll take the 3 with 13 on the shot clock. Doesn't go. Shantavia Harris on the cleanup. And Cara Palucci, that's number 4. So Shantavia Harris, she'll step to the free throw line for the first time today. I saw this last time they played. Very methodical. She takes her time at the free throw line and doesn't help that time as she misses the first one.
I was about to allude to that. Yeah, you know, everybody seems to have your kind of rhythm to get into your free throw shooting, but this is very patient, very deliberate. I haven't seen anything like this in quite some time.
She was 4-6 from the line in their first matchup with the Apprentice School Lady Builders, and she knocks down the second one. 11 points for Shantavia Harris, still about 5 shy of her season average. Inocencio, kick out, Carrillo. She's going to have to make a few of these. The first one long, and the rebound comes away to Ashley Henley. And a foul. Kayla Richards is now going to try to stop the clock. So number 1 on Kayla Richards as she tries to extend this game, but still down 14. That's going to be a tall mountain to climb with just 2 minutes left. Owsley, Richards comes over for the trap, gives it off to Henley, and trying to go inside to Shantavia Harris, knocked away by Samantha Cara Palucci. Henley, she'll inbound from the baseline. She's got to be careful, almost 5 seconds. Does get it in, looking for Wyndham, and now Carrillo and Inocencio. Carrillo almost lost it, but she lays it off the glass. That's what they need, a few more of those. Down 12.
No quitting this Fort Kent team, that's for sure. And Inocencio's diving on the floor just to get a pass down court.
And now Richards will foul again. And that's the 4th. So the next one will put Concordia at the line for 2. As we're holding things up for something. Now we're ready to go. Inbound comes to Owsley as we come to 90 seconds left in the ball game. Owsley gives it off to Rachel Harris. She'll hold it out around midcourt, and now another foul by Richards. So that's going to put Rachel Harris at the line. Concordia up 12. And Harris 0 of 2 from the free throw line today. She missed 2 of them back in the second quarter. Harris, her first one. She got it. One more coming Harris's way. She got them both. 2 huge free throws for Rachel Harris. 1:21 left. Inocencio pick it up right before midcourt. She'll launch a quick triple. Off the glass, doesn't go. But Cara Palucci, she's going to give the Bengals a second chance. Richards will take the jumper. No, and the rebound pulled down by Mary Wyndham, and now Erica Saucier will commit the foul. That's 2 on Saucier. So a big-time presence of seniors on this Fort Kent team. Carrillo, Saucier, Richards, Cara Palucci, 4 of the 5 starters, and Megan Perry, who's on the bench. So 5 of the 7 players on this roster for the Bengals, seniors, and are looking at their last game in the green and gold uniforms of the Fort Kent Bengals. Second one for Wyndham. She gets neither. And Inocencio, she'll come ahead, has it knocked away. Cara Palucci able to recover it. She'll take the jumper, and she's fouled by DeBose. So Cara Palucci's going to try to put a couple points up on the board with the clock stopped. But still down by 14, and we're under a minute to play.
You'd mentioned that the Fort Kent Bengals are senior laden. It's all upperclassmen. And taking a quick look at the Concordia Hornet roster, it looks to be an overabundance of sophomores, which is the future looks bright if you're the number 1 seed. 21-3 regular season, and it's loaded with underclassmen.
They've got 1 senior. That's the woman with the ball right there now, Erica Owsley, who wants to go out on top with the national title. Harris gives it back to Owsley. Looking to foul again is Fort Kent, and this time it's going to be Inocencio that commits it. That's going to send Owsley to the free throw line for 2 shots. Looks like she's going to come up short of that 30-point mark. She's still got 27. She can get to 29 here with 2 of them. And the first of 2 goes. So it looks as though the Concordia Hornets are going to move on to the national title game to be played Saturday afternoon. That'll be the first of 4 here from the Maine Arena on Saturday, as Owsley knocks down the second one. A 15-point lead. Inocencio on the floor after the tie-up, and the Hornets are going to get it back. 38.5 to go. Ball comes into Owsley. We'll see if Fort Kent continues to foul. Richards playing up on Owsley, but hasn't fouled yet, and now she will. That'll be 4 on Richards. And she's picked them all up here with under 2 minutes in the game. Owsley, and there, she will hit the 30-point mark. With that free throw, Erica Owsley, 30 points on the day. One more for Owsley. She got them both, 31 points.
It's been more of a balanced effort here in the second half for Concordia. In the first half, it was all Owsley. In the second half, she's no longer half their team scoring.
Carrillo, her 3 comes up short. Cara Palucci to Saucier. She'll take the jumper from the free throw line. Saucier hits. Concordia not putting on much defensive pressure, not wanting to foul. And now Romano and Inocencio will get called for it. Inocencio, the one bright spot that'll still be around for this Fort Kent team next year. She's a junior. Rachel Harris back to the free throw line, and she hits the first.
They're showing 5 seniors on the roster and only 7 total players. Those aren't Those aren't good numbers.
They do have one other player on the roster who's not here, and she is a sophomore. Harris misses the second one, and that's just going to do it. They're going to hold and run out the clock. 6 seconds, 5, and that will do it. The Concordia Hornets, they will play for a national championship here in the USCAA on Saturday afternoon. They will await the winner of our next matchup, Rochester College against Iowa Wesleyan. That game coming up here. It's supposed to start at 2 o'clock, so that's 27 minutes from now. But it's got to be pretty impressive. If you were watching this, if you were Iowa Wesleyan or Rochester College, you got to think a pretty intimidating presence is what you're facing in the Concordia Hornets.
Again, we kind of touched on it. It was a tale of two halves. You had a point guard that was kind of lighting it up in Owsley in the first half, and second half they really worked it down into the post. So they showed that they can play really two different styles of offense in each half. So that has to bode well for Concordia's chances to carry through as the top seed in the Division I women's bracket.
The scoring totals for you before we go to a little break ourselves before the next game. Erica Owsley, she had 31 points on the afternoon for the Hornets. Rachel Harris, she had 8. It was 3 for Talamakia DeBose, 6 for Mary Wyndham, 4 for LaShanique Youngblood. Shantavia Harris chipped in 11, and Ashley Henley, she had 10. On the other side for the Fort Kent Bengals, Danielle Carrillo, she had 17. It was 16 for Saucier, 10 for Romano Lynn Inocencio, and Samantha Carapolucci, she chipped in 14 for the Fort Kent Bengals. 4 double-digit scores, but they still come up short as the Hornets will move on to the national championships. And Saucier, Carrillo, Carapolucci, Richards, and Perry, their careers in Bengal uniforms end today at Penn State Fayette, the Everly campus. Iowa Wesleyan against Rochester College. That one comes your way next. We'll take a quick break, and we'll be back with the action for that one. You're watching USCAA National Championships presented by Onemacola Woodlands Resort from Penn State Fayette, the Everly campus.